to Fridays, 8 to 9 p.m. The issues. Don't just react. Understand. From the views on the streets,
we go to bed empty hunger,
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills three things that makes a society.
Represent
Hey guys, what's up? How you all doing? They call me Novisha Nelson One, your number one celebrity host, and you are watching Voice of the People Television, VOP. Stay tuned.
Uyi Osarite is my name. I am a friend of the microphone, Voice of the People TV. That name is unique, and the brand is very sweet. I like the packaging, picture qualities, camera qualities, and then of course, the quality of human beings that I see sometimes on your channel. I talk and get paid, and I look forward to being in your studios.
Oh yes, you are on to Voice of the People TV, live here in Benin City, the cradle of black civilization. What are you waiting for? Tune in, bro.
VOP TV. Now, you have more than a voice.
In a world where power shifts its every headlines, news breaks and events happens, we bring you unbiased and explicit information on politics, economy, and state of the nation. We break down the chaos. Facts, not fluff. Truth, not speed. We discuss not just politics, but a glimpse into the future. Join Moses, Chukuma, and Fina on Voice of the People TM. Voice of the People Television. Now you have more than a voice.
The red carpets, awards, the razzmatazz, music, fashion, interviews, and more. Spotlight on Voice of the People Television. Let's feed you with all the juicy stories in the global entertainment space, bringing you the glitz and glamour as they hot. Stay tuned to Spotlight, 1 p.m. Monday to Friday. Spotlight on VOP TV. Entertainment like never before. Do you want your voice to be heard? Do you know that you matter in the scheme of things? The People's Voice, the show where ordinary citizens take center stage as we discuss the biggest stories that affect you and I. With you in mind, we facilitate lively discussions, debates, and interviews on the topics that matter most to you and I. From social justice to economic empowerment, education to healthcare, governance, and more. Tackling tough topics and amplifying your voice. Join the conversation and make your voice count. The People's Voice. Make your voice count.
Hello there, good evening, and welcome to Voice of the People Television. Now, the program is Political Lens, and I am Chukuma Okoro. We are broadcasting on Metro SLTV channel 264 on YouTube and other social media platforms. We are at VOP TV Live. Let's bring in our guests, as we've been joined in the studio here by Dr. Peter Anosike. Peter is a philosopher, business analyst, economist, and political affairs analyst. Good evening, Dr. Anasika, and thanks for being part of the show.
Me.
Okay, good to have you, sir. Now let's get into it. On the show today, Rivers Assembly breaks into two as Speaker Martins Amaewhule leads 16 others to the All Progressives Congress, APC. Tinubu's ambassadorial nominee is to face Senate grilling very soon. And Christopher Musa, the newly appointed Minister of Defense and the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, issues 10 warnings to terrorists. We have come to restore order. Well, 16 lawmakers in the Rivers State House of Assembly, led by Speaker Martins Amaewhule, have officially defected from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to the All Progressives Congress, APC. Amaewhule announced the decision during plenary, citing deepening divisions within the PDP as the reason for their exit. He declared his commitment to the APC and expressed eagerness to formally receive his party card. Amaewhule praised President Bola Tinubu's leadership, stating that the president has shown genuine concern for Nigeria and demonstrated special goodwill towards Rivers State. Well, he said joining the APC will allow the lawmakers to better support the president's agenda from within the ruling party. The group insisted that internal cracks within the PDP made it impossible to remain in the party. The defection comes amid long-standing political crisis in Rivers State involving the governor, Sim Fubara, and the lawmakers aligned with former Governor Nyesom Wike, the current minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT. The state has witnessed disputed court rulings over the legitimacy of the Amaewhule-led assembly, adding to tensions. Well, nationally, the PDP continues to struggle with unresolved internal conflicts, which have triggered several defections across the country. Dr. Anosike, you've listened to my intro. Now, this is the second time Amaewhule is defecting to the All Progressives Congress. Is there anything that differentiates the first defection with this one that we see now? I mean, on plenary, like they did before, he announced. Is there anything different? So what do you think we are going to witness in the coming days?
Well, this is the second missionary journey of Amaewhule into APC, even though it still remains the same, going by the Supreme Court judgment on the issue when it was taken that to court. But because the Supreme Court said that in their first attempt that they did not obtain APC membership card, and that their names were not in the APC register. So, but which means they are still on the same part, because he said that he's looking forward to getting his membership card. So he has not gotten it.
So technically speaking, he's
still a member of PDP. He's still where he is until his name enters their register, okay, and he gets his membership card. But talking of defection, it is now that he can boldly say, I have defected, going by the Constitution. Because Constitution stipulates when there's crisis in the party.
Okay.
The first time that they defected, PDP has one national chairman and one national working committee. But right now, they have two national chairmen and two national working committees. That shows crisis in the party, which is a legitimate ground for defection.
Okay. So Dr. Anosike, when you say that is a legitimate ground for defection because there is crisis in the party, Amaewhule is not a national figure. He plays at the state level. So is there crisis in the party? Because I understand the Constitution to say if you're a senator or a member of the House of Representatives, if there's a problem, if there's a crisis within the party at the national level, you can defect. But Amaewhule is a member of the State House of Assembly, and the last count, PDP doesn't have internal crisis in Rivers State. So is it still legitimate on the ground of crisis within the party?
On the ground of the crisis in the party, there's crisis in PDP. In Rivers State, some belong to weaker faction, while some belong to Raki faction.
Yeah, but they don't have two state working committees or two state executive committees.
They have been polarized. They are already two. So when they go that to court and say there's a faction in PDP, there's crisis in PDP, they don't need much argument to press that case.
Okay.
So there's crisis in PDP, and it is a legitimate ground
for defection.
For
When you say that there are two factions in the PDP now, the conversation gets very interesting. And you mentioned the Turaki faction and the Wike faction.
Yeah.
So where does the Fubara belong? Which faction does Fubara belong to?
Well, he has not made because he has not attended any of the meetings.
Okay.
Both the Turaki and Wike faction.
Okay.
So we can say that he is on the fence.
Okay.
We can say he is on the fence. And we can also ask a question. Before it was 27 members that defected. Now we are having about 15. Where are the others? It also shows that they have broken rank. Do you understand it? Which means if the remaining did not or defect, it will not even be easy to impeach Fubara because they cannot form a two-third.
Okay.
Maybe there have been internal politics within
the 27.
which is a good thing for
I'm
Fubara.
happy that you more like front-loaded this question because I was coming to that. Initially, we had 27 of them, as a body, in bond, acting together, went to UK,
Yes.
everywhere they are together. But now we see Amaewhule lead 16 others, making them 17. So we have 10.
Yes.
And apart from the 10, you have the 3 that were originally part
Before,
of
yes.
the Okojumbo.
Yes,
so,
Okojumbo.
so you now have 17 and 13. Like you said, technically speaking, they can't impeach him because they
cannot get to 10.
So do we see, is there a battle renewed or what? Do you think that they are heading into another battle? Or does it look like Fubara has been able to break that rank?
That's what I am seeing. That's what I am seeing. Because if not, the 27 of them will have made that move as they made before. But now it seems that he had been able to break the rank.
Okay.
That's why one of them did not move at the same time.
So do you see fresh crisis coming to Rivers in the coming
No,
days?
there's already a crisis because they are not, one of them are not that's working seamlessly as we expected. Because when they went that to UK, what's his name? Nyesom Wike said that peace has returned to Rivers State. That was Wike's statement, that peace has returned to Rivers State. So I had expected a seamless working relationship between the State Assembly and the governor. And mind you, as of yesterday, they were insisting that Fubara should show them his commissioner nominees.
Okay.
Which means there are still a disagreement that's between them.
Okay, there's still disagreement. Yes, because the other day, within the week, Amaewhule said something more that looked more like an attack on the governor, that he's not taking care of education and all of that.
Yeah.
A lot of people understand, look, that there should be independence of the legislature from the executive. But wasn't that coming too soon? And recall, too, there was a news that broke out this evening that, look, the Rivers State House of Assembly has adjourned until next year, meaning that the governor is not going to present his 2026 budget. So where does that leave Rivers State?
Well, if they adjourn, that they can still reconcile.
Reconvene?
Reconvene. They can still reconvene because the other states have been presenting their budgets. At least about 10 states have presented their this now budget now. And for them, adjourning now is too early.
Okay.
So it must have been out of emergency. Understand? Maybe the Amaewhule that was shocked by the other members not defecting.
Okay.
So they have that to go back to the strategy.
Okay. And the appropriate thing would be to shut down Rivers House of Assembly, for their personal interest.
Sure.
Which
is very, very bad.
Which is very
because
bad.
One is it is the development that is suffering. It is the people that are suffering.
There's something you always say about the abuse of power, how democracy dies in some places.
Turned into
tyranny of the few. Does it look like that is what is going on in Rivers
That's
State?
what is happening because people are not having their say in the current politics of River State. All these have been just the State Assembly and the governor. And I'm sure River State is suffering as we speak, both the people and the infrastructure. Both the people and the infrastructure, because where there's no peace, there can never be development. Understand me? So, which is not good for the people. And mind you, when you talk of wealth generation, River State is the second richest state in the country. Even though the wealth is not trickling down to the masses.
Okay.
Yes? But the wealth is not trickling down to the masses. You know, the years of Nelson Wike, Wike was almost a Father Christmas. Even dashing money to governors.
Yes, fellow governors.
Sure, understand me.
Sponsoring senators for elections,
Everything.
members of the House of
And
Representatives.
boasting with it.
And boasting with it.
So
now, from what you see, in River State, do you think that Sim Fubara will eventually defect to the All Progressives Congress? Is there a likelihood? Especially now that we see that the 17 people, are divided. A lot of people take it for granted that before 2027, that Sim Fubara will move to APC. With this recent development, do you think that he will be more measured in taking that decision so as not to abandon the people that stood behind him?
He ought to be more measured, because now things are not really as because, as I said before, I had expected a more seamless working relationship between Wike and Amaewhule when they both say that they have resolved their differences and peace has returned. But we have not seen that. What we have seen is a kind of piece of the graveyard, where this guy is nothing what he has in his mind, and this guy is nothing. So, for Amaewhule to come out and say that that FOBRA is neglecting education, which is a direct attack on the governor. Understand? And the governor, as Wike said, that FOBRA doesn't talk a lot, but what he does is in his mind. So I feel that is also the game, because silence is a very powerful tool. Understand? You cannot attack what you don't know. So when somebody doesn't say anything, you cannot know what is in his mind. So once Amaewhule has now gotten a division in his team, it is a good news for the FOBRA side. Which, understand me, which means he had by either hook or crook broke their ranks.
Okay.
So he now have people there on his own side. And with it, it will not be easy again that will be led by the nose, like when the 27 were
together.
Were together.
Okay. Now,
and then the situation in the country too, because Tinubu has a lot of issues that to tackle with. Understand?
And so I will not prioritize River State anymore.
No.
Why shouldn't he? I mean, 2027 is also on the table.
He has
America. River is swing for him.
He has America on his neck.
Okay.
He has America on his neck. He understand the conditions that America gave him a kind of an impossible mandate. So he has to sweat to fulfill those mandates.
Now, talking about America being on his neck, I don't know if you saw that video where the Senate President Godswill Akpabio was.
I saw it.
Where he said, Trump is on our neck.
It's on our neck. Understand me?
Should he have said that?
No, he shouldn't have. But he always.
Because that's more like Nigerians know, but a lot of people were still that.
He shouldn't have said that. Understand me? He shouldn't have said that openly. Understand me? If he's in a quiet session, he can, but openly, where cameras are everywhere. Understand? It seems as if America is now welding
a big stick, and say, if you don't do this, we are going to hit you and all of that.
So he shouldn't have said that. Which means without Trump being on their neck, they have
wouldn't be
told him
acting.
to bow and go. Understand me? That's definitely what it means. Without Trump being on their neck, they have told the defense minister to bow and go.
Okay.
So which means Trump has woken them up.
Okay, now before we move on to the next topic, let's come back to River State. Now with everything that you see happening in River State, how long, if you had a crystal ball, how long do you think that the Wike dynasty will last in River State beyond 2027? Is it going to crumble? Is it going to collapse before 2027? Will it survive 2031 and all of that?
Well, as I said, Tinubu has enough trouble that's on his hands.
I bet he still wants to win elections.
He has to first of all solve this problem.
Okay.
Because his winning election is tied down to solving this problem.
Okay.
Understand? It is not Trump that is going to do it, it is him. And he's going to imagine outlawing Sharia.
Putting pressure,
Understand me?
Hizbah police and outlaw.
Understand me? So it's going to backfire on him. There's going to be a rebel from the north. Understand me? There's going to be a rebel from the north. So he has a lot of trouble that's in his hand.
To pay attention to whatever is going on
whatever
in River State.
anybody is said.
So technically speaking, what you are saying is that without the president, Wike it's more like nobody in River State.
Without it is the presidential backing that gave him all the power.
But he has deep pockets.
The Fobra, as incumbent, also has deep pockets.
Okay.
So Fobra, as the current incumbent, can fight Wike kobo to kobo, naira to naira.
Okay, so
and mind you, he has been the accountant general of the state since 2010. So knows where the money is coming from.
Okay. So if peradventure or by chance Wike is removed as the FCT minister, his reign will automatically end.
Crumble. His reign will automatically, Wike will become a nobody, both in Rivers and in the country as a whole.
Okay, now a lot of people believe that he has caused a lot of problem and embarrassment for the president. Now, do you think that the president is likely to shove him aside before 2027? Is there a possibility it could happen?
I don't really know. I don't really know.
Okay.
Understand? And for me, I'm not really seeing it happening. But the recklessness of Nyesom Wike has ended.
After which incident?
Eh?
After which incident?
He cannot do all those things with what is currently happening in the country.
Okay.
He cannot embark that's on all those acts with what is currently happening in the country. Everybody is being guided. Everybody is being guarded. Understand?
Okay, so something happened within the week, and Turaki-led National Working Committee issued expulsion certificates to Wike, Fayose Anyanwu, and a few other people. And from the press release, they said that event took place at the national head office of the People's Democratic Party, which had been under lock and key on the orders of Anyanwu and Wike. Now, if the Turaki-led National Working Committee is operating from that head office, does it look like they have, so to speak, overpowered Wike and co?
Once they are there, once the person that is there is the person in charge of the party.
Okay.
Understand? The person that is there is the person in charge of the party. I know that Wike gave order for there to be sealed. He put his policemen there, and I remember Sheyi Makinde saying that he's ready to stay there for 2 weeks. Understand? And they gained control on that day. and it was downside for Nyesom Wike. It was downside for Nyesom Wike because now his own team are now issuing statements from the side.
Okay.
Understand me? His own team is now issuing statements from the side. But I know that the person in the house is the owner of the house.
Now, before we move on to the next topic of discussion, does it look like the president has abandoned him, even if it is temporarily?
I said, if fire is put on your palm, you have to first of all remove it. There's fire on Tinubu's palm as we speak.
Okay.
There's fire on his, so he's not going to look at anybody, even his wife or children, until that fire is out of his hands.
Okay. All right, then. Now let's move on. President Bola Tinubu's 65 ambassadorial nominees are set for intense Senate scrutiny next week, with several opposition lawmakers warning that the screening will be far from routine. They insist that only individuals with integrity and strong diplomatic capacity will be approved, stressing that ambassadorial roles should not be reduced to political patronage. The latest nominations follow nearly 2 years without substantive ambassadors in many countries, a gap attributed to financial constraints, embassy dilapidation, and political considerations. Meanwhile, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar criticized President Tinubu for nominating immediate past INEC Chairman Mahmoud Yakubu as a non-career ambassador, while Atiku argued that such an appointment sends the wrong message and risks undermining public confidence in the electoral process, especially given controversies surrounding the 2023 elections. He warned that rewarding an election umpire with a diplomatic post just weeks after leaving office raises serious moral and political concerns. Now, Dr. Anosike, the president nominated more names as ambassadors, names like Damba Zhao, former chief of army staff, former minister of defense, Ebo Okete Bas, former sole administrator, emergency rule in Rivers State, former chief of naval staff, or Hakim's wife, Eta Inang. Now, do you agree with the president on those nominations, the fresh ones? I'm looking at the fresh ones.
For me, they call him a master strategist. But what I'm seeing here is foolhardiness. What I am seeing, I'm not seeing any master strategy
Dr.
here.
Anosike, you are talking about our president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Look, there are things you shouldn't do. You are nominating somebody for diplomatic role. You are picking Kebas.
So, what's wrong with that? Former chief of naval staff. Do you know what it means to get to that height?
Excuse me, I'm talking of the role that you use him to obstruct democracy.
By who?
In Rivers State.
Says who?
What did he do?
What did he not do? The case went up to Supreme Court. What did the Supreme Court say?
What did the Supreme Court say?
The Tinubu didn't act alone. We had a National Assembly that ratified that emergency rule.
Who nominated him?
Of course, Tinubu did.
Was it well ratified?
By the National Assembly.
With a voice vote.
But they did.
That's illegality.
But they did. Okay, so why didn't Nigerians contest it?
This kind of a thing, contest where there's the case that PDP took that to the Supreme Court, what happened? Supreme Court put that case aside until the 6 months that elapsed.
Okay.
Is that justice?
Okay, so you think that's a violation of justice?
Is that so? The world are not stupid.
Okay,
the Nigerians are not stupid. So Tinubu should have allowed these guys to rest for some time before bringing them up.
Mahmoud.
Everybody know how that he conducted a disputed election. Understand? People know that that Abbas was used to obstruct democracy in Rivers State. Understand? And this is still fresh in the mind of the people. It's still very, very fresh in the mind of the people, and you are rewarding them. You are rewarding them. Where they are going, they already have the information about these people. And they will not have any respect anywhere they are being posted to. I'm telling you, there's no country that Mahmoud Yakubu will go and they will respect him. There's no country that Abbas will go and they will respect him.
No,
unless in military ruled countries.
Okay, now when you say will respect them, they first of all have to accept them. After signing, they have to send the agreement, what is called agreement. If that person is accepted, now the country will not issue a letter of credence. Now, at what level do you think that these countries can reject these nominees?
No, that they may tolerate you, but not accept, but
not respect.
But will not respect you and will not do business with you.
Okay.
So, if a country has vital information about Nigeria, because of their reputation, they will not want to discuss with them.
Okay, so when they don't respect you and they don't do business with you, technically
they can tolerate you in their country.
In their country.
Understand? But they will not be treating you the way an ambassador, because an ambassador is the mirror of the country that is coming from.
Okay, mirror of the country. Now, I like the word you use. The ambassador is the mirror of the country. Now, let's interrogate the full list. We have names like Reno, FFK, Ikbazo, Ugwanyi. Now, these are names that carry lots of controversies. Do you have any problems with these people going to?
Most of them has corruption cases.
Like who?
Ikbazo say he used 10 billion for an airport.
Okay.
Where is that airport in Abia State?
So who is trying him? Who is trying him?
Where is that airport? He has been asked to refund the money.
The Dr. Anosik, I'm not sure you have your facts right.
Okay.
Who asked him to refund the money?
The Abia State, the current governor of Abia State said that they have searched everywhere for where the airport is located. They couldn't find it.
Okay.
Therefore, he should refund that 10 billion. Because there's a budget of 10 billion. You saw it. A budget of 10 billion for an airport that was not built in Abia State.
Well, I understand your position, but the governor, let's finish with is our state. So let's finish with Abia State. The same governor took Okezi Ikbazo, and his administration to EFCC. And in less than 2 hours, they came out. And EFCC, that was how the thing ended. So will you say...
Are you sure that it has ended?
It has ended, yes.
I don't know.
The contractor, the person that signed off that money, went there, he didn't spend up to 2 hours. So on what basis would Alex ask him to refund the money?
Must have gone
and that was how the case died.
They must have gone and made statements. Then EFCC will continue with their investigation.
For more than 2 years, and they can't come up with something.
All we know is that Ikbazo siphoned the 10 billion allegedly for an airport.
Okay, all right. Let's move on. But before we move on, Ikbazo also provided proof that money was diverted to construction of roads in Abia State. Are you aware of that?
I'm not aware of that.
Okay, I've just told you. Let's move on. FFK, former aviation minister, Oxford trained, very brilliant. What do you have against him?
Hey, when this your FFK Oxford trained said that he's ready to lead Hamas against Israel. You read it?
Yes, I did.
And it's a good statement.
I mean, that's his opinion. He's entitled to it.
Okay, but the internet doesn't forget.
Okay.
So once you are nominated for an ambassador to any country, what they will go is to go and search who you are.
Who you are.
Understand me? And what will come out of these people will not be palatable to any country.
What if it is a country that supports Hamas against Israel?
Okay, fine. They can send him to Iran.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
It will be good if FFK goes to Iran.
Okay. FFK cleared.
Yes. Ugwanyi.
Ifeanyi.
He lost his opportunity. I know that. I'm not aware of any EFCC case against him.
Okay.
Understand? But his people are not satisfied with his stewardship as a governor.
Okay.
That's the Enugu state people. He came from Enugu North.
Yes.
They're not satisfied with his stewardship as a governor. Understand?
Okay, and the president is rewarding him. Meanwhile, he failed his senatorial ambition. He couldn't go to Senate.
He lost in his own word.
Okay.
He lost in his own word.
And we see the president rewarding him.
In Udenu.
Okay,
yeah.
Political reward.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about Dambazao, former Chief of Army Staff, former Minister of Defense. What do you have against him?
Well, those people, at least, they have been off the night for some years.
Okay.
My concern is these current people, Reno or Mockery, understand? FFK, this Ebas,
okay.
Mahmoud, their sins are still very fresh in the mind of the people. Dambazon, there's nothing current that I can remember of him unless I go back and search.
Okay.
But these current people who are involved in a lot of controversies, you put them aside. That's my concern.
Okay, that's your concern. Now, let's go to the screening. At the backdrop of this backlash that we have seen, people are, in fact, we even have an American, Mike Arnold, campaigning against Reno. Reno is this, Reno is that, and all of that.
Which is true.
Now, do you see the Senate conducting thorough grilling, to the extent that some of them are, sifted from? Is it possible that some of the names will be dropped at the Senate level?
Well, for me, the Senate that you have a month ago before Donald Trump came on board is no more the same.
Okay.
At least Akpabio confirmed it. Understand? Because the issue of bow and gold will no more be in practice. They are going to do a more thorough job. They are going to do a more thorough job. So the Senate have to be up and doing now. As Akpabio said that Trump is on their neck, that they are no more ready to be playing politics. So I feel that they are going to do a more thorough job.
Okay, so based on that, do you see Akpabio? Is Akpabio wearing a new badge of honor now? Will Nigerians, believe in whatever he does?
That's a survival mechanism.
Okay.
Understand? Mind you, the time that there was a report that he said something against the United States, he went all out. He issued there's an advertorial in newspapers to deny that.
Okay.
Understand me? And mind you, as a politician, when the president and the vice goes, the Senate president
is the next in line.
Understand me? So we should also have that in mind, because there are insinuations somewhere that both number one and number two are involved in some unpleasant things.
Okay.
Understand me?
Now, if you consider the kind of, how far do you think Donald Trump might go, in trying to put pressure on Nigeria's leadership? There's the visa ban. You are aware of the visa ban that they propose, to government officials and even private individuals. Of what effect would that be? I mean, these people, if they don't go to US, they can get into Europe. They can even go to, as a matter of fact, a lot of them even go to Asia now. They go to Middle East, Dubai, Bahrain, and all of that. So the visa ban, of what consequence is it?
We are no more talking about visa ban. Understand? Mind you, yesterday, there was a protest in the United States.
Okay.
Nigerians protested in different states in the United States. So the pressure is there. Understand? And that pressure, they are transferring here. So Nigeria is changing. It's not going to be business as usual anymore.
Okay, so we expect to, in the coming days, you expect that we'll see a new National Assembly?
We're expecting that everybody will sit up or pretend to sit up.
Okay, everybody will sit up or pretend to sit up. Now, do you see Trump, before we leave, now, do you see Trump, putting light footprints? Yes, boots on ground, footprints, in the war against terror. Do you think he's likely to do that?
He has given his order, understand?
Okay.
They have given what Nigerians should do. And if Nigeria don't do it, I'm sure that he will do what he said that he will.
You recall that he asked Pete Hegseth to get ready for war in case it gets to that level.
They have, I'm sure they will do what Trump will do what he said, because that's also pressure on him in the United States.
Okay.
That to stop what is happening in the country.
From who? The evangelicals or from the Nigerian community?
Even both Nigerians, Americans, and people from other parts of the world.
Okay. All right. Now, Dr. Anosike, the next topic is sort of related to this one because the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, and newly sworn-in Defense Minister General Christopher Musa, retired, have vowed that the federal government will defeat terrorism and restore peace across Nigeria. Ribadu warned that anyone or any group attempting to destabilize communities or undermine national security will face decisive action, stressing that Nigeria has already secured 775 terrorism-related convictions through coordinated national efforts. General Musa, inaugurated by President Bola Tinubu, pledged to rebuild Nigeria's defense structure and deliver visible security improvements within a short time. He emphasized greater synergy among the armed forces, security agencies, and the public, promising to ensure that Nigerians can return to their farms, schools, and daily lives without fear. While religious leaders, including Bishop Matthew Hassan Kuka, urged the new minister to flush out terrorists and restore normalcy nationwide, expressing confidence that his experience will strengthen Nigeria's security posture. Amid the wider security climate, a monarch kidnapped in Kwara State remains in captivity as his community negotiates ransom, while police in Rivers State rescued 5 abducted university students unharmed. The successful rescue operation, conducted with support from local communities and sister security agencies, offered a rare positive moment as authorities continue efforts to track down the fleeing kidnappers and address the country's worsening security challenges. Talking tough, Chris Musa and Nuhu Ribadu, is this more like a new broom sweeping clean? Does it look like that?
They are trying to deceive Nigerians.
What do you mean?
One, on the role of the media is called EEI, understand? And educate, entertain, and inform.
Okay.
So Nigerians need to know that Christopher Musa is now less powerful than his former position.
No, I don't get it. He was Minister of...
he was Chief of Defense
Chief
Staff.
of Defense Staff, okay.
Understand me?
Okay.
Who has power to command troops. Now he is a politician. Understand me?
Yes,
he can just issue advice to the service chiefs.
Okay.
So, but now he's now coming as if he's the sheriff, the new sheriff. Understand me? So all this that he's talking is not within his power.
Okay, now let's break it down so that the viewer at home will understand. We have the Chief of Army Staff, COAS. We have the Chief of Naval Staff. We have the Chief of Air Staff. Now, the 3 of them report to the Chief of
Defense Staff.
Now, this command that we have, Army, Navy, Air Force, that reports to the Chief of Defense Staff. Under which ministry? Which ministry supervises them?
Which is his own position before.
Okay, now which ministry supervises these commands?
Ministry of Defense.
And so who is the minister? Christopher Musa.
He is but he doesn't have power to command a soldier.
Are you sure?
He doesn't have any power to command a soldier.
But he can give orders to the CDS who will in turn...
CDS will obey.
Of course.
A civilian. It doesn't happen.
But we just roll out the chain of command.
Excuse me, it doesn't happen. He is now less powerful than he was before.
Okay, so according to you, he is less powerful than he was before.
The powerful guys are the one that commands troops. Understand me? So he's a minister saying shoot aside, shoot on sight. He don't have that power.
But I just told you that the Chief of Defense Staff reports to him.
To him?
Yes, as the minister that supervises the entire ministry. And you just said the Army, the Air Force, the Navy report to Chief of Defense Staff. And would they have a supervising ministry, which is the Ministry of Defense, and you have Christopher Musa as the defense
What
minister?
Christopher Musa is doing is advisory.
I don't get it. Advisory as a minister.
What he is, his role is advisory.
What of policy initiatives that he rolls out and signs off on them?
Signs off on them,
Yes.
and give to the chief of defense staff.
Now, you speak as if that the military is no longer subject to civil authorities.
They have chains of command.
And in the
Which-
Ministry of
which the minister-
Finance, in the Ministry of Defense, on whose table does the buck stop?
Where?
In the Ministry of Defense,
Chief of defense staff.
and not the Minister of Defense.
Chief of defense staff.
Dr. Anasike, a lot of people,
He
would
takes
say- a lot
order-
of Nigerians, a lot of
He
people.
takes order from the CNC,
Okay.
the commander in chief. Understand me?
Okay.
The chief of defense staff takes order from the commander commander in chief. Understand? Who is the only person that can tell him go to war or not go to war? The Minister of Defense cannot tell him go to war. Are you aware of it?
No, I'm not. We are holding a conversation.
Okay. It is only the commander in chief that can tell the chief of defense staff go to war.
Okay, now, the Chief of Defense Staff...
Because of that CNC that he is holding.
Okay. Can the Chief of Army Staff bypass the Chief of Defense Staff and the Minister of Defense and move straight to the CNC? Does it happen?
President has held meeting with the Chief of Army Staff.
Okay.
He has held meeting with the Chief of
Defense Staff.
With the Chief of Defense Staff.
And,
He can hold
another service chief.
several distinct meetings.
Okay.
Understand?
All right.
But the person that holds the power is the person that commands the troops.
Okay, the person that commands the troop. So apparently,
Understand me?
what you're saying is that Christopher Musa has misfired by saying shoot at sight.
He cannot. He don't have that power.
Okay.
He don't have that power.
But we have not seen the Chief of Defense Staff said no. What you said is not correct.
Oh, no, everybody is playing politics. All correct.
And everybody
all
is
correct.
under pressure.
All correct. All correct.
Okay, now...
So, excuse me, is there any difference between a Minister of Defense and Minister of Aviation?
Minister of Defense and Minister of Aviation.
Yes.
They are cabinet level ministers.
Okay. Do better of does one has more power than the other?
The Minister of Aviation, does he supervise the Nigerian Army?
No, but mind you, what of the Air Force?
Does he supervise the
I'm asking you.
No, does he supervise? He doesn't supervise the Air Force.
So, which means that the naval, the chief of air staff doesn't report to him.
No,
I'm asking a question.
No, aviation is a ministry. Aviation is a ministry. We have the defense.
Is what?
Defense is a ministry, but under defense, you have the Nigerian Army, you have the Nigerian Navy, and you have the Nigerian Air Force.
What I want Nigerians to know is that Musa is no more as powerful as he was as the chief of defense.
Okay, that's your take on that.
Yes,
He's
because
no more as
he
powerful.
has lost that power of controlling
Troops. Okay, he has lost that power of controlling troops.
and that's where the power is.
And that's where the power is. Okay, I think it's an ongoing debate. A lot of Nigerians understand our drifts, different drifts. Now, how do you think that Christopher Musa how far do you think he can go in this fight? Now that you say, look, he doesn't command troops anymore, so he doesn't have the order, he doesn't have the powers to issue orders and all of that. And he's talking tough. How far do you think he can travel?
Excuse me, Bible said, let us reason together.
It's not, even Godfather said that.
Okay. The Tinubu tell us why he removed him before.
Why he removed Christopher
Musa as the chief of defense staff.
I wouldn't know.
If he was performing, would he have been removed?
So why was he brought back if he wasn't performing?
No. He was, as the Tinubu is under pressure.
Okay, so the president is so confused that, he says, now leave today, and tomorrow he says, come back.
He is under pressure. He is under pressure. And when you are under pressure, you make mistakes.
Okay. So
there's nowhere somebody you removed just a month ago, maybe if I say you want to reshuffle security to remove somebody basically for not performing.
Dr. Anosike, we are out of time. This conversation is very, very interesting. Unfortunately, we are out of time. I wanted to ask you, 30 seconds, what do you think will happen to Bello Matawalle in the coming months?
Or there's a serious pressure on the president to remove him, both from Nigeria and the United States.
Okay, now I'll take that as a concluding thought. Or you want to use 30 seconds to wrap up from the first topic?
And for me, I don't see him escaping it because Tinubu will want to save his own head.
Okay, his own head, and that is 2027.
Yes.
All right, Dr. Anosike, I must say a very big thank you to you for this wonderful opportunity to appear on my show. That's how far we can go on this. Now, on behalf of the backroom staff, technical director, the bus manager, the sound engineer, and the ingest manager, I am Chukwu Makoro. Up next is issues with Nnena Ndemdiuto. Stay with us and don't go away. I'll see you on Monday, 8 o'clock in the morning on The Morning Show. From me, enjoy the rest of your weekend. And bye for now.
Welcome to the locker room, the home of football talk that matters. I am Jerry Amaewhule. Join us every weekday, Monday to Friday at 5 p.m. Nigerian time, as we share the hot takes and hot debates in the exciting world of football. And joining me are the usual suspects, Ikechukwu and Mayowa, as we break down all the hot takes and everything that's happening in the football. Don't just watch football, live it with us. Catch us on the locker room and Voice of the People television at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. And like I always say, if not 20 minutes off, please discuss.
And it's Hakim Ziyech who puts the Atlas.
2564 is coming up on Burning 9, right?
The 2564 Atlantic Tower.
What happens in the hush behind hangar doors? Who signs the papers that gamble with lives? Which truths were grounded before they even ever had wings? If you've ever buckled a seatbelt at 30,000 feet, if you've ever stared out of that tiny window